The woman frowns deeply, claiming the cakes she bought for her beloved furball have all been eaten by someone else. A quiet furball sits with crumbs around its mouth. The child says his monster friend left the village. The little orc child pouts, but I don't know where my home is. You ask the old man if he knows anything, but our headman is a wise and worldly man. He might know something, he remarks, pointing at a house not far away. The little goblin sulks. He looks at you with tears in his eyes, silently begging you for help. They must be thirsty, you think to yourself. Stop, stop! The goblin shrieks angrily. You're drowning them. If it were that easy, the goblin says, he would have done it himself. You pour the salve onto the flowers, and they stand up tall. The goblin cries out, and he then holds something out to you. The goblin stares lovingly at the beautiful flowers and gobbles them up. Healthy flowers are the tastiest, he proclaims in glee. Did he grow those flowers just to eat them? A young boy wanders up to your group. You realize you are right when he assails you with questions about your origins and adventures. The Inquisition leaves you exhausted. However, does your mouth become so filthy, Mr. Flob? Clearly embarrassed, Mr. Flobby murmurs, "That's not my mouth." The village headman is a renowned gourmet, and the man says he wishes he too could have such a lavish meal just once in his life. His deep desire for delicacies only growing with time. The little orc child is engrossed in a fairy tale. The title reads, "The Legend of the Dragon." You take a peek into the picture book and come across a passage that piques you. To where, you wonder, then recall that this is merely a fairy tale. Lately, a suspicious man. The old woman looks at Melanie and remarks that he was dressed just like her. Wow, a new friend. Mar stares off into the distance as for some reason, Riddis joins in on the cuddling. Travelers, you hear of, down here, at thy feet, the clump of fur speaks. I am Lappy. Lappy the furball looks at you with amiable expectations. Why do you want to join us, you ask candidly. I heard a voice calling my name. So no more monsters, comes Melanie. When you say more. Thoroughly rejected by Melanie, Lappy says he has no friends because of his aged face. Your party is silenced by the... You tell Melanie to be nice. Exhausted from arguing with you, Melanie However, she says that they are on a dangerous journey to defeat the dragon. Lappy leaps up and hugs her in his excitement, exclaiming, "Thou hast made me so happy." Till next time, Melanie said. Though she thought all monsters to be evil, Melanie finally, a friend. You bow, but before you can speak, the man he laughs, then shamelessly praises his own village as being wondrous and peaceful. And who are you? We are a traveling circus, you say. I too traveled the world once long ago. Feeling sorry for the old man, Melanie seemingly unaffected by your lie. He says that he had heard rumor. You must be tired from your journey. Have a seat. I will have my chef prepare a feast, the headman says, then claps his hands twice. Extravagant dishes that you have never... You're drooling, Melanie scowls. You wipe your mouth with your sleeve, then gasp as perhaps in an attempt to hold himself back. There. We'll eat soon. The doors fly open in the next instant. With tears in her eyes, she tells you that her dear companion... The headman's eyes go wide in surprise. You are starving, but it doesn't look like you'll be able to partake of the feast before you because of Mr. Flobby's disappearance. We will find your slime. Melanie reminds you that you are here to get clues about the dragon. What's the difference? Little brave heroes, the headman interjects. It appears the story has hit a stand. You need to hear the whole story from the young girl. The girl sobs, wailing about the... Melanie places her hand at the girl, then hands something to Melanie. It looks like the muddy handkerchief she used to wipe... She asks Melanie to wipe Mr. Flobby with it after you find him. The girl claims to have searched the village, but cannot. Regardless, looking aimlessly outside the village would be a waste of time. You decide to collect more information in the village. She says she saw a suspicious... She claims they went north. Did that man take Mr. Flobby? You resolve to leave the village in search of the pair. Your footing is obscured in the dimness of the shrine. You go forth slowly but steadily. Taking it once, you take a good look at the floor and see it lined in trails of viscous liquid. No doubt a slime or 200. It looks like poor Mr. Flobby is being held captive, but hand over that slime. You speak as if I kidnapped him. When your eyes finally adjust to the surrounding darkness, Melanie's mouth falls open in surprise. It seems the man has noticed Melanie as well. It looks like the two know each other. The man says that he and Melanie came from the same village. The man's revelation makes you realize that you know almost nothing about Melanie's past. You ask her if he is a childhood friend, but she holds her tongue. With forbidden magic, our clan has ensured the She rattles on about the man, telling you that he is Vince. Vince resentfully claims that he is searching for the noble dragon. You ran away from home with your tail between your legs. Enraged, Melanie lunges. You have so many questions, but realize that the most pressing matter is getting Mr. Careful, he won't go down easy. the fight, Vince asks, "Do you know that the headman may look like a nice old man, but he keeps those little monsters around you?" He begins. But before Winifred, Hedwin, and Burr, the three brush you aside, fixing their attention on Vince. The Ivory Order and that false justice they serve are the true evil here, he retaliates, fighting back. Seeing the two parties occupied with each other, you realize this is your chance to grab Mr. Flobby. Perhaps wary of humans, Mr. Flobby dashes out when you draw near. Vince is on equal foot. Engrossed in their battle, the combatants pay you no mind. When you reach out to grab Mr. Flobby, he suddenly lower Mr. Flobby's stamina to calm him down. Exhausted from the fight, but it seems he hasn't yet found something to help return Mr. Flobby to normal. You wipe Mr. Flobby's mouth with the handkerchief you received, then you hear a quiet voice speak. It looks like the girl's familiar scent. Having regained his senses, Mr. Flobby had you place the increasingly sticky handkerchief in your bag. Lappy approaches and tells you that Mr. Flobby has returned. The girl is ecstatic that I'm happy for you, Melanie says with a smile as she returns. The girl bows her head, and Mr. Flobby looks as slimy as the headman wants us to bring Mr. Flobby to. Of course not, but bring him back soon, she answers with a bright smile. I am so happy to see you safe. You explain everything that happened, including He expresses his relief that the order. He then thanks you for your hard work and instructs his stewardess to prepare dinner for your party. You can feel your collective mouths watering at the sight of the You, Mar, and Ridis immediately dig in. You aren't sure where you find a moment to breathe. Please, eat to your heart's content. Once your belly is full, you realize that Room for dessert? the headman asks, offering you a plate. The color strikes you as familiar, and the stickiness sends a shiver down your spine. Is this, Mr. The headman looks at you with a plain expression. This dish is a masterpiece, he remarked, and I have you brave heroes to thank for it. Had you not brought that slime back, we would not be able to enjoy this exquisite dessert. You move to leave, but I try to get my meat while it's still young and tender. He points at Mar and asks, would you consider leaving that creature here with me? How much, you ask? As much as you desire, he answers. You grab the headman by his lapels, hands trembling in fury. Pummel the headman with all curled up on the... You hug Mar tightly. Reassured, Mar looks at you with his round... You meet eyes with the rest of your party and reach a tacit agreement. Together, you all stand and leave. As you are about to leave, the old man suddenly charges it, but Mar, the keener of you two, is quick to... With a crash, Mar and the headman... From the headman's hand falls a small blade. It clatters to the ground, covered in blood. You take the injured Mar to an inn where you can watch... You gaze at the unconscious. Despite the shallow wound, no amount of medicine seems to rout. I heard that my friends were in danger. So I came. As he reaches Mar's bedside, he leans. This is what you call it extract, he shouts. He explains that it is a poison extracted from... Hearing those words, you realize the headman's blade. Isn't there anything we can... Lappy's eyes widen in realization. He then puts the what-you-call-it extract into a bottle and hands it to you. Lappy says that if you follow the road south of the village, he tells you to give the extract to the famous nutritionist there. Realizing that you are at fault for this, you don't hesitate to But this is strange. The extract comes from a monster, so it should have no effect on one, Lappy remarks with a curious tilt of his head. I thought a beast of that size would eat us out of house and home, she remarks, no doubt talking about Mar. The sign on the door reads, "The Great." You open the door without knocking. As anyone, a muscular man emerges from the back. Praising his musculature seems to put him in high spirits. Anyone can achieve a body like this with the proper diet, he explains. So have mercy, you think. You politely ask if he... Indeed, I am the nutrition. He says he has been studying dietetics here for many years. You hand Oreo the extract and explain that your comrade... He stares at the extract for a long time, opens the bottle and laps at the liquid inside. That's poison. The man insists that he'll be fine with his expertise of nutrition. Regardless, it seems he managed to grasp the However, he says he needs a spry fish, which has been difficult to catch lately. He needs a special fish to make the necessary supplement. When he explains that you can catch one in the surrounding sea, she shows you a page from her ancient tome. That book comes in handy from time to time. Oreo gasps as if He says that his son went out fishing, and, with a bit of luck, it sounds like his son is fishing on the wharf. You decide to go find him. You see a young man with his line in the water, and call. He turns around and flexes. You stare, enchanted by his bold. He asks if you have business with him. Praising his musculature seems to have put him in high spirits. Anyone can achieve a body like this with the proper exercise. Have mercy, you think? Though you are pretty sure of the answer, you ask. That I am, he answers. You introduce yourself, expressing to him that you are a hero. His eyes begin to sparkle the moment you utter. More or less grasping the situation, he says that a monster has settled near their town, and its thundering roars have scared. You know Oreo needs a spry fish to make that supplement. Hearing the despair in your voice, Bruno speaks. He tells you that there is a harbor near town where perhaps you can find the fish you... You thank him for the information, then head to the harbor. Just as you are about to leave... Is it a reward you're after? You are about to ask. But Melanie smacks you on the head before you can voice it, and allows him to come along. Bruno looks ecstatic that he was. When you ask him why, he tells you that his dream is. But his father, famed in the world of nutrition, one desires strength, the other not. What will you ask Bruno? You ask Bruno about his sword arm, saying you. Bruno replies that he specializes. Apparently, he only carries around a sword to look like an adventurer. Curious about his attire, you ask why he does not wear. He confessed that he once wished for armor, but deemed it unnecessary. In that moment, you realize something. The words "birds of a feather flock together" run through your mind, but you quickly chase them away, afraid of what that means for you. He has been fishing for several days. He hopes his wife and child back in Shoreland are well. The woman says she has been waiting here for days, worried about her husband, who has yet to return. Lately, a monstrous roar has been disturbed. He sighs, lamenting that his catches have been poor as a result. A rough-tempered piscator. Mars' fate rests upon this man's haul. Terrible, he says, showing you the few fish he's caught. Inside, a spry fish. You ask him if you can have the spry fish, but he says he won't give it up for free. When you ask how much it will cost, he gives the absurd price of 1,000,000 gold. You're heartless, Riddis pouts. The man is enraged by the rude. Just then, Bruno prances forth. Your fisherman muscles are simply sublime. He challenges the man to a competition of the piscator seems interested and agrees on this one's all yours, Melanie says. Then let the carnival of might and muscle. Your puny body is no match for mine, the piscator shouts back, throwing a punch. A battle of beefiness. You're doing great. His victory sealed, witness the power of power. Defeated, the piscator hands over the spry fish to Bruno. Bruno extends a hand to the piscator, who is an unspoken friendship begins to form between the two. Or at least, you hope that's what the prolonged silence between them means. With the spry fish in hand, you head back towards Oreo's clinic. Bruno looks at your group sadly, reluctant for this little adventure to end. You hand the fish to Oreo and give me a moment, he says, then takes the fish and heads into the back. It's ready, he says, emerging from his room and handing you a bottle. You hope this will get Mar back on his feet. You need to get back to Unionville on the double. But before that, you wordlessly extend a hand to Bruno. Bruno takes your hand and you can feel the bones in your hands splintering. You just hope Bruno has enough self. You make a mental note never to shake hands with him. But Bruno stops you and says he wants to journey. But Oreo is quick to douse the flames of his desire. Then you leave me no choice. Squats at hyper speed. I want to show this power to the world. You have much to learn, my son, Oreo retorts as he's only the sound of their labored breathing and body. You can only look on in stunned silence at the enigmatic display. Bruno falls to his knees, panting. You have grown, my son, Oreo said. So are you coming with us or not? Only our muscles know the answer, comes Bruno's cryptic reply. I don't get it, Ridis remarks. On the condition that he study nutrition upon his return, you realize that these two have a very special way of talking that no one else can understand. Hearing yet another roar in the distance, you realize you need to get the supplement to Mar so you can investigate the sound together. Mar lies listlessly upon the bed, looking somewhat haggard. You help Mar sit up. Drink this, Mar. He weakly opens his mouth, and you slowly pour the energy concentrate inside. Mar abruptly bolts up. It looks like Mar is all better now. You give Mar a tight hug. Mar mewls softly in discomfort. Overcome with joy, you sob. Melanie and Ridis watch you two with a Bruno is deeply moved to see nutrition bringing a smile to others. With this, you can finally put the happenings of... You decide to take Bruno back to Shoreland, then continue your search for the dragon. You arrive at Bruno's house. Though he seems to want to adventure a little more, he reluctantly, and he says that the creature nests atop a tower not far. With that, your next destination is decided. Bruno looks at you, his eyes begging you to let him come along. What will you say? Let us defeat the dragon together. You are sure his power and knowledge, and you realize with a grin, he will be so happy. Just Bruno is happy he can continue the journey. You must stay here and study, Oreo said. Bruno explains that the journey thus far has taught him the splendor of nutrition. After hearing his son out, Oreo, and in the blink of an eye, the flesh of Bruno's cheeks, and Bruno is lifted off his... Your eyes go wide at Oreo's assault. Knowledge of nutrition can help save lives. Wow, nutrition is incredible. Knowledge is the truth. You tremble, never wanting to make an enemy of Oreo. Though Oreo still deems his son's knowledge insufficient. Thank you, Father, Bruno says from the ground, moved. So it comes to pass that you journey to the tower with Bruno to find the roaring beast. Yet another. We have finally arrived at the tower of... Bruno is the first to respond. Riddis snorts to herself, seeing you red in the face from jumping to conclusions. Riddis rolls up her sleeves and shouts. You all watch in silence as the door... You snort to yourself, seeing Riddis red in the face. Even Melanie looks vexed, lacking the proper skills to open the door. Bruno exhales deeply, then places the hand that opens. It seems the magic seal... This is the power of power, Bruno pants, but you promptly ignore him and enter the tower. Fight. Don't hold back. Let's do this. Excellent. Let's do this. Footing suddenly crumbles, with no way of saving you. Once more from the bottom. work. About the enemy. Foolish humans. Did you come here to consign? It sounds like he is saying something important, but you do not understand it in the slightest. Melanie is so absorbed in thinking about the creature's words, she cannot hear you calling her. Riddis has given up on thinking and whistles an offbeat. While everyone is distracted, the monster attacks. And fight.